The 1957 Roosevelt popular silver dime is a coin among collectors, largely due to its silver content and historical significance. This coin, struck in both Philadelphia and Denver, is composed of 90% silver and 10% copper, which provides it with a strong intrinsic value, especially when silver prices are high. Whether you have a circulated dime or one in mint state, this video will help you understand its value and factors that affect its worth in today's market. History of the Roosevelt silver dime. Introduced in 1946, the Roosevelt dime was minted to honor President Franklin D. Roosevelt. By 1957, over 273 million dimes were struck between the Philadelphia and Denver mints. This coin holds a special place in U.S. history, symbolizing post-war economic growth and recovery. The obverse of the coin features a profile of President Roosevelt, designed by John R. Sinek. While the reverse displays a torch, an olive branch, and an oak branch, symbols of liberty, peace, and strength. Value of the 1957 Roosevelt dime. The value of a 1957 Roosevelt silver dime depends primarily on its condition and whether it has any unique features, such as a mint error or proof strike. The base value, due to its silver content, starts around $2 to $3 for circulated coins, but uncirculated, mint state, coins can reach up to $9.31 or more in top condition. In circulated good condition, the value of 1957 Roosevelt dime is $2 to $3.85. In extremely fine, EF, condition, the value is $4.62 to $5.87. In mint state, MS, the value is $5.87 to $9.31. And proof coins, PR, have a value of $7.08 to $45. Uncirculated or mint state coins without any wear are most valuable to collectors. These coins retain their original luster and are free from damage, allowing them to command premium prices. Mint mark and rarity. 1957 Roosevelt silver dimes were minted in both Philadelphia and Denver. The Denver Mint produced over 113 million dimes, while the Philadelphia Mint produced over 160 million. Although the total mintage numbers are large, high-quality, uncirculated examples remain desirable among collectors. Grading plays a crucial role in determining the exact value of a 1957 Roosevelt silver dime. Professional grading services like PCGS or NGC assess a coin's condition on a scale from poor, P1, to perfect mint state, MS 70. Coins that show no signs of wear and maintain their original mint luster are highly valued. The most valuable dimes are graded MS 65 or higher, where values can exceed $4,100 for a full torch, FT, graded coin. 1957 dime errors and their impact on value. Mint errors can significantly increase the value of a 1957 Roosevelt silver dime. Some error types include Blakesley effect. This occurs when part of the coin is clipped, resulting in a flattened or incomplete edge. Coins with this error can be worth between $5 and $10. Blank reverse. Dimes with no design on the reverse are particularly rare and can fetch prices over $100, depending on the extent of the error. Where to buy or sell 1957 Roosevelt silver dimes. If you are looking to buy or sell 1957 Roosevelt silver dimes, reputable dealers, online marketplaces like eBay, and numismatic auctions are great starting points. Ensure you verify the coin's grade and authenticity, especially for higher-end examples. Graded coins from reputable agencies like PCGS or NGC will always fetch higher prices in the market. In conclusion, the 1957 Roosevelt silver dime is a valuable piece of American numismatic history. While circulated examples primarily carry their silver melt value, uncirculated and error coins can fetch significantly higher prices. Understanding the nuances of coin grading, mint marks, and market demand will help you determine the exact worth of your 1957 dime. Whether you're a seasoned collector or a novice, this guide provides the essential information needed to make informed decisions about buying, selling, or preserving these historic coins. Next up, the 1974 D. Roosevelt dime. The 1974 dime is part of the Roosevelt dime series that the U.S. Mint started to issue in 1946. It has a core made of copper while it is clad with nickel. Specifically, the 1974 Roosevelt dime is made of 75% copper and 25% nickel. The coin was made of silver and copper when the Roosevelt dime was first struck from 1946 until 1964. When the Coinage Act of 1965 was ratified, all regular coins, including the Roosevelt dime, were turned into base metals. Thus, from 1965 to the present, the Roosevelt 10-cent dime was made of cupronickel. The value of the 1974 Roosevelt dime is 10 cents. It has a diameter of 17.91 millimeters and a reeded edge. Its mass is 2.268, which is lighter than the silver version of the dime. John Sinek prepared the original design of the Roosevelt dime. The Roosevelt dime's design remained the same to this day. The obverse features the image of Franklin D. Roosevelt, facing to the right. The inscriptions include the mint mark D, initials of John Sinek, J.S., year of minting, 1974, Liberty, and the U.S. motto, In God We Trust. On the reverse, you'll find the images of olive and oak branches. In their center, you'll find the Liberty torch. The inscriptions include one dime, E pluribus unum, and United States of America. Roosevelt was among the country's greatest and most liked presidents. Upon his death, Congress moved immediately to introduce the Roosevelt dime. The whole process of adding Roosevelt to the coin was not that easy. It has faced much opposition, from creating the design to ratifying it as a law. Finally, the Roosevelt dime was released into circulation on January 30, 1946, which coincided with the 64th birthday of Roosevelt. 1974 Roosevelt dime varieties. The 1974 Roosevelt dime comes in 3 varieties. The main difference among these varieties is their mint marks. They may also differ whether they are proof coins or regular coins. The San Francisco, Denver, and Philadelphia Mint worked together in 1974 to produce over 1 billion 10-cent coins. Here's I show you the different varieties of the 1974 Roosevelt dime as well as their mintage. 1974 D Roosevelt dime, Denver. Mintage 571,083,000. 1974 P Roosevelt dime, Philadelphia. Mintage 470,248,000. 1974 S Proof Roosevelt dime, San Francisco. Total mintage 2,612,568. As you can see, the Denver Mint produced the most dimes in 1974, showing you that the highest demand for coins was in the western part of the country. 1974 D Roosevelt dime. Type, Roosevelt dime. Year of minting, 1974. Mint mark, D, place of minting, Denver. Quantity produced, 571,083,000. Face value, 10 cents, 10 cents. Price, 15 cents to 35 cents, circulated condition. Mass, 2.27 grams. Edge, reeded. Designer, John R. Sinek. Composition, 75% copper, 25% nickel. Diameter, 17.90 millimeters. The Denver Mint produced more than 571 million dimes in 1974, which is higher than the mintage figures of 1973 and 1975. The mintage was so high in 1974 that in the following years, from 1975 to 1979, the mintage figure of 1974 was never surpassed. There were more than 1 billion dimes produced in 1974. So, you can expect that there were some coins made with errors. Error coins are quite interesting because they are potentially valuable and rare. Here are some examples of 1974 Roosevelt dime errors. Off-center strike. The die should strike the planchet at its center. If not, some engraved elements would go over the edge and not properly display on the coin. When this happens, an off-center strike error would occur. Struck through and weak strike error. To truly have a beautiful dime, the die should strike the dime with full force and no obstruction. However, There are times when foreign objects get stuck either on the die or planchet or in both of them. When the die hits the planchet, the die strikes through the foreign object, leading to different types of distortion on the coin's surface. Aside from that, a struck-through error can be combined with a weak strike, leading to a further blurring of the engraved elements. Double die error. The double die error happens when the die hits the planchet twice. Supposedly, the strike should be done once. When the double die error happens, you will find a doubling of some elements on the coin's surface. How much is 1974 Roosevelt dime worth today? The most important question in the minds of collectors pertains to the value of the 1974 dime. It wouldn't be much if you base its value on the face value and melt value. The face value is just 10 cents, and the melt value is $0.0237, which is quite low since the coin isn't made of precious metals. However, don't lose hope because some 1974 Roosevelt dimes are worth more. If they are in good condition, then that would make their value higher. How does the grading system work? Professional numismatists joined in the 1970s and established coin grading standards, known as the Sheldon scale. These numismatists now assign grades at key places on the 70-point scale, using the most regularly utilized numeric points in conjunction with the original adjective grade. The most common coin grades are P1, poor, indistinguishable and probably damaged, if used, must have a date and mint mark, otherwise, rather battered. FR2, fair, nearly smooth, but without the damage that a coin graded poor often possesses. The coin must have enough detail to be identified. G4, fair, inscriptions have merged into the rims in some areas, and important elements have been mostly erased. VG8, very good, a little weathered, but all primary design elements are visible, albeit faintly. There is little, if any, central detail left. F12, good, the item is very worn, yet the wear is even, and the overall design details stand out clearly. Rims are almost completely isolated from the field. VF20, very fine, moderately weathered, with some finer features still visible. The motto or all letters of liberty are readable. Both sides of the coin have entire rims separated from the field. EF40, extremely fine, gently used, all gadgets are visible, and the most important ones are bold. The finer details are bold and clear, however, light wear may be seen. -50 Australian dollars, uncirculated, slight evidence of wear on the coin's design's high points, it may have contact marks, eye appeal should be adequate. -58 Australian dollars, uncirculated choice, slight traces of wear, no severe contact marks, almost full mint shine, and great eye appeal. MS60, mint state basal, strictly uncirculated, no indication of wear on the coin's highest points, but an unsightly coin with reduced luster, visible contact marks, hairlines, and other flaws. MS63, mint state acceptable, uncirculated, but with contact scratches and nicks, little reduced shine, but otherwise appealing appearance. The strike is weak to average. MS65, mint state choice, uncirculated with great mint shine, little contact blemishes, and exceptional eye appeal. The strike is unusually severe. MS68, mint state premium quality, uncirculated with superb luster, no obvious contact marks to the naked eye, and exceptional eye appeal. The strike is quick and appealing. MS69, almost perfect mint state, uncirculated with perfect brilliance, a sharp and appealing strike, and extremely good eye appeal. A near-perfect coin with minor imperfections in the planchet, strike, and contact markings, seen only under 8x magnification. MS70, mint state perfect, under 8x magnification, no tiny imperfections are discernible, the strike is crisp, and the coin is perfectly centered on a beautiful planchet. Rarely seen on a coin, this coin is bright and whole, with original luster and exceptional eye appeal. Next up, the 1989 D Roosevelt dime. The 1989 D1 dime produced at the Denver Mint, is part of the Roosevelt dime series, which began in 1946 to honor President Franklin D. Roosevelt. The coin features a profile of Roosevelt on the obverse and a torch, olive branch, and oak branch on the reverse, symbolizing liberty, peace, and strength. This coin is made out of a clad material, meaning that the outer layer is a mixture of copper and nickel, while the inside core is solid copper. These coins, bearing a special circumstance, will be worth face value. Most of the obverse design consists of a left-facing bust of President Franklin Roosevelt. In the northwest quadrant, directly in front of Roosevelt's face, is the standard legend Liberty. Below the president's chin, in smaller letters is the motto "In God We Trust." Directly below the neck truncation on the bust are the designer's initials, JS. Placed at a slightly higher line than the motto and to designer's initials right is the date, 1989. Unlike earlier dimes struck before 1967 that have the mint mark on the lower reverse to the left of the torch, the D mint mark is on the obverse above the date, 1989. Centered in the reverse design is a flaming torch symbolizing liberty. The torch sits between the olive branch of peace on the left and the oak branch of victory on the right. Split into 4 parts between the branches and torch is the USA's traditional motto, E pluribus unum. Since the words are divided as follows, EPLU/RIB/USU/NUM, there are centering dots between each word. This central design is completely surrounded by the words United States of America at the top and the slightly larger denomination 1 dime on the bottom. The edge of the 1989 D Roosevelt dime is reeded with 118 reeds. John R. Cynic, 1888–1947, served as the 8th chief engraver of the United States Mint from 1925 through his death on May 14, 1947. He is responsible for the designs of both the Roosevelt dime and the Franklin half-dollar. The choice to memorialize President Franklin Delano Roosevelt on the dime, made shortly after his death in 1945, was a fitting one. Having served as President of the United States for 12 years from 1933 to 1945, he successfully led the nation through several of its most tumultuous periods, from the Great Depression to World War II. Due to this service to his country, Roosevelt was a revered figure. Numismatically, however, his administration is not remembered fondly. Roosevelt's Executive Order 6102, which mandated the recall and melting of countless gold coins in 1933, had a large impact on the hobby. While 90% silver Roosevelt dimes were manufactured from 1946 through 1964, they were replaced by the nickel-clad copper coins that we know today. This was due to increases in the price of silver that dramatically raised the costs of coin production for the United States Mint in the 1960s. Business strike-clad Roosevelt dimes have been minted at the Denver Mint since 1968. But while the Denver facility was the first to strike a mintage of over 1 billion pieces of the 90% silver type in 1964, it would not be until 1994 that it would do so again. When combined, PCGS and NGC have certified 760 examples of the 1989 D Roosevelt dime. PCGS has graded 489 of the examples, while NGC is responsible for 271. Of these, a surprising 46% earned either the PCGS Full Bands, FB, or NGC Full Torch, FT, designation. When compared to the 1989 P. Roosevelt dimes, nearly 30% more of the 1989 D issue have been designated as FB or FT. Unlike scarce varieties or other U.S. types that have much smaller mintages compared to the 1989 D dime, there are almost certainly many uncertified dimes still extant in high grades and worthy of FB/FT designations. It would not be unusual at all for a collector to find a mid-to-high mint state example in pocket change. Even today, the fact that the coin was struck in base metal, copper-clad and nickel, when combined with the large mintage of 896,535,597 pieces means that they will likely be seen for many years. Examples in low grades bring no premium over face value and should probably be spent unless used to fill a hole in a date or type set. Even mid to high grade examples are worth between face value and $1. Only examples in mid to high mint state hold any real value. Examples between MS-65 and MS-66 sell regularly for between $3 and $7, while examples in MS-67 and MS-68 can sell for between $25 and $100. The auction record was set at $167 with an MS-68 sold on eBay in October 2018. As can be expected, FB/FT examples sell at a premium over standard MS types. While examples do not necessarily need to be in mint state to earn an FT or FB designation, it definitely helps, and most are actually in mid to high mint state. Low mint state, MS-60 to MS-63, graded examples with a FB/FT designation can be procured for between $5 to $7 without any difficulty, and examples graded up to MS-66 and MS-67 are worth only approximately $20 to $35. However, truly gem examples, MS-68 and MS-69, have a larger value of between $150 to $400, with the auction record of $677 for an MS-68 set in January 2011 in an eBay sale. If you're interested in finding a high-grade example of the 1989 D dime, you should look through mint sets. In 1989, the U.S. Mint packaged and sold 1,987,915 sets that contained all of the circulating types from both Philadelphia and Denver. Today, the Denver half of the 1989 mint set can be acquired for as little as $2.50. Next up, the 1993 D Roosevelt dime. How much is the 1993 D Roosevelt dime worth? In MS-65, the 1993 D dime is readily available for between $1 and $5. In fact, all grades from MS-65 and below are found easily in circulation. For coins that have been well preserved in high mint state grades, the value starts to climb, and in MS-66 the 1993 D sells for an average of $12 at auction. Move one grade higher, and this type becomes much less common, with NGC and PCGS together certifying a total population of only 165 pieces. A straight MS-67 can sell for an average of $17 to $18, but this rarity is slightly misleading. While MS-67s are definitely more uncommon than mid-MS grades, many examples exist that have not been submitted for grading. Specimens graded MS-68, however, are a different story. With only 3 certified examples known, this grade is a true conditional rarity. The last straight graded MS-68 to come to auction in 2018 sold for $200. Pieces designated as full bands or full torch command a significant premium over straight graded examples. So, what does it take to get an FB/FT designation? The coin must display a reverse torch that has 2 distinct pairs of upper and lower horizontal bands. This is not only a factor of circulation condition but also of strike quality. While coins graded as low as MS-60 can receive an FB/FT designation, PCGS records MS-65 as the lowest grade with a FB/FT designation, and NGC reports MS-66. Full torch and full band examples graded MS-65 or 66 command an average price of $30 to $40, with MS-67 FT/FB examples worth $50. When an MS-68 last came to public auction in 2018, it sold for a record price for this grade of $333. Please note that the PCGS Coinfax auction record price of $2,990, and a slightly lower priced example which sold for $2,760, are both for a mislabeled $10 gold eagle. A number of error types have come to market and commanded significant prices. For example, an MS-66 double denomination with a Lincoln cent overstruck on the 1993 dime sold for $556 in 2018. Besides errors, all examples in grades lower than mint state command no premium over face value. These coins are numismatically useful only to fill out a date or typeset. Design. Obverse. Most of the obverse design consists of a left-facing bust of the beloved late 32nd President of the United States, Franklin Delano Roosevelt. In the northwest quadrant, directly in front of Roosevelt's face, is the standard legend Liberty. Below the president's chin in smaller letters is the motto In God We Trust. Directly below the neck truncation on the bust are the designer's initials JS. Placed at a slightly higher line than the motto and to designer's initials right is the date 1993. Unlike earlier dimes struck before 1965 that have the mint mark on the lower reverse to the left of the torch, the D mint mark is on the obverse above the date. Reverse, centered in the reverse design is a flaming torch symbolizing liberty. The torch sits between the olive branch of peace on the left and the oak branch of victory on the right. Split into 4 parts between the branches and torch is the motto E pluribus unum. Since the words are divided EPLU/RIB/USU/NUM, there are centering dots between each word. This central design is completely surrounded by the legend United States of America at the top and the slightly larger denomination 1 dime on the bottom. Edge. The edge of the 1993 P. Roosevelt dime is reeded with 118 reeds. Designer John R. Sinek became the 8th chief engraver of the United States Mint upon George T. Morgan's death in 1925, holding the position until his own death on May 14, 1947. In addition to being chosen by Mint director Nellie Ross to design both the new Roosevelt dime and Franklin half-dollar in 1946, Sinek is responsible for engraving the 1926 sesquicentennial American Independence half-dollar in gold $2.50 for the 150th anniversary of the United States of America. Sinek also helped sculpt the U.S. Army's modern Purple Heart Medal for military merit by soldiers wounded in combat. Coin specifications. Country, United States of America. Year of issue, 1993. Denomination, 10 cents, USD. Mint mark P, Philadelphia. Mintage, 766,180,000. Alloy, 75% copper, 25% nickel. Weight, 2.27 g, diameter, 17.90 millimeters. Edge, reeded. OBV designer, John R. Sinek. REV designer, John R. Sinek. Quality, business strike. 1993 marked one of the last years in the 20th century that the Philadelphia Mint would strike less than 1 billion dimes. Included in the official mintage of 766,180,000 coins, the United States Mint sold a total of 1,297,431 uncirculated mint sets in 1993. Despite the mintage figures, the modern mint's level of quality control in 1993 was quite high, which means there are few official varieties. Die expert Dr. James Wiles and Variety Vista lists only one, ODV, 015, straight G of God. Additionally, the total population of full bands/full torch designated examples for 1993 represents a 34% increase over that of 1992 and a 596% increase over the 1991 population. Next up, the 1999 P. Roosevelt dime. The 1999 P. Roosevelt dime is a significant piece of American coinage, reflecting the rich history and tradition of the U.S. Mint. As part of the Roosevelt dime series, this coin not only represents its denomination but also embodies the legacy of President Franklin D. Roosevelt and the economic circumstances of its time. In this video we will talk about the history, specifications, value, and potential errors associated with the 1999 P. Roosevelt dime. The Roosevelt dime was first introduced in 1946, shortly after the death of President Franklin D. Roosevelt, who was instrumental in the establishment of the March of Dimes, an organization aimed at combating polio. Designed by artist John R. Sinek, the dime features Roosevelt on the obverse and an olive branch, a torch, and an oak branch on the reverse, symbolizing peace, freedom, and strength. By 1999, the United States was experiencing a robust economy, and the coinage reflected the stability and growth of the period. The minting of the 1999 P. Roosevelt dime continued the legacy of this important coin series, which had become a staple of American currency. This coin has a total mass of 2.268 g, a diameter of 17.91 millimeters, and a thickness of 1.52 millimeters. Its edge is reeded, and the coins are composed of 1965 to 2022. 75% Cu 25% Ni, pre-1965 90% silver and 10% Cu, designer, John R. Sinek. Front, obverse. The Roosevelt dime is the modern United States dime that has for the most part continued production without interruption. The front, also known as the obverse of the coin, contains the bust of Franklin Roosevelt, the 26th President of the United States. The words "In God We Trust" and "Liberty" are inscribed, as well as the date, the initials JS, and a mint mark if present. If no mint mark, then the coin was issued at the Philadelphia Mint. Back, reverse. The reverse or back of this coin contains the words United States of America, 1 dime, and E pluribus unum, out of many, 1. A lit torch is center, with an olive branch to the left, and an oak branch to the right. The value of the 1999 P. Roosevelt dime can vary based on several factors, including its condition, rarity, and demand among collectors. As of recent evaluations. Circulated condition. In average circulated condition, the 1999 P dime is generally worth its face value of 10 cents. Uncirculated condition. In uncirculated condition, the value can range from 50 cents to $1 or more, depending on its quality. Special coin issues. Certain dimes from this year, particularly those with unique characteristics or high-grade examples, can command higher prices in the market. The 1999 P. Roosevelt dime is not considered rare, as millions were minted, but it remains a favorite among collectors for its historical significance and connection to Franklin D. Roosevelt. The market for these coins can fluctuate, influenced by the overall interest in numismatics, economic conditions, and the popularity of the Roosevelt series. Errors in coin production can significantly increase the value of a coin among collectors. Some notable errors associated with the 1999 P. Roosevelt dime include: struck off-center. These coins have the design misaligned, making them visually distinct and sought after. Double die. This error occurs when a coin is struck twice, resulting in a doubling of the design. While not common in dimes, any example would be valuable. Wrong planchet. Occasionally, coins may be struck on the wrong type of metal planchet, which can dramatically increase their value. Clipped planchet. This error occurs when a portion of the coin is missing, either due to a malfunction in the minting process or mishandling. Mint mark variations. While the 1999 P. Roosevelt dime does not typically have mint mark variations, any unique features or inconsistencies could appeal to collectors. Proper preservation of coins is crucial for maintaining their value. Coins should be stored in a controlled environment, ideally in acid-free holders or albums designed for numismatic preservation. When assessing the condition of a coin, collectors and dealers typically use a grading scale ranging from poor, P, to mint state, MS. The most commonly used grading systems include MS 60 to MS 70. Mint state grades indicate uncirculated coins with no signs of wear. MS 70 is a perfect coin with no flaws visible under magnification. AU, almost uncirculated coins that show slight wear but maintain most of their original luster. XF, extremely fine coins with minimal wear, preserving fine details. In conclusion, the 1999 P. Roosevelt dime, while not the most valuable coin in the series, holds a special place in the hearts of collectors due to its historical significance and connection to Franklin D. Roosevelt. Understanding its specifications, potential errors, and market trends can enhance appreciation for this piece of American history. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or a casual collector, the 1999 P. Roosevelt dime offers a glimpse into the past and a connection to the ideals that shaped the nation. Additional resources. For collectors seeking to learn more about the 1999 P. Roosevelt dime, numerous resources are available. Books on U.S. coinage. Various publications detail the history and specifics of U.S. coins, including error varieties. Online forums and communities. Websites like CoinTalk and the NGC Forum provide platforms for discussions among collectors. Numismatic organizations. Groups like the American Numismatic Association, ANA, offer educational resources and events for enthusiasts. By staying informed and engaged, collectors can continue to explore the fascinating world of numismatics and appreciate the value and history behind coins like the 1999 Roosevelt dime.